Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among rolling hills, there lived a boy named Tiber. From the day he was born, Tiber was different. He was small, no taller than a barrel, and his face was marked by features that others considered unusual, even ugly. As he grew, the children in the village would laugh and mock him. They would call him names, and their cruel laughter would echo through the streets. "Little Tiber, the odd one," they would chant, while some adults whispered behind his back, "The dwarf who will never amount to anything." Despite the ridicule, Tiber refused to let their laughter break his spirit. He spent his days working hard in his family's small plot of land, learning the ways of farming from his father. Over time, he became a master at tilling the soil, planting seeds, and nurturing the crops that grew from his labor. The land seemed to respond to his care, and the harvests flourished. Yet his success in farming did little to change how others saw him. He remained the small, awkward man who never quite fit into the expectations of society. One day, word spread throughout the village that the chief's daughter, Elira, was to be married. But she had a unique condition. Any man who could make her laugh would win her hand in marriage. It was said that Elira had not smiled nor laughed for many years. No one knew the cause of her sorrow, but it was clear that she had become a cold, distant figure. Many young men in the village were eager to try their hand at winning her favor. They danced, performed acrobatics, told jokes, and even tried magic tricks. But Elira remained unmoved. No smile, no chuckle, not even a flicker of amusement passed her lips. The village began to despair, thinking no one would ever win her heart. On the day of the contest, when it was Tiber's turn, the villagers were skeptical. How could a man like him, who had spent his life in the fields, ever entertain the beautiful, stoic Elira? They snickered at the idea of him attempting anything to amuse her. Tiber stood at the back, uncertain, his heart heavy with doubt. But then a spark of courage lit within him. He remembered the hardships of his youth, the cruelty of the laughter that had surrounded him, and how he had never let it stop him. Why should he now? Should he? With his head held high, Tiber walked toward Elira, who sat on a raised dais, her face as cold as ever. He bowed respectfully, and without a word he knelt down before her. The crowd fell silent. Then, with a swift and gentle motion, Tiber reached out and tickled the bottom of her foot. Elira's eyes widened in surprise. She recoiled slightly, but the sudden sensation caught her off guard. Then the most miraculous thing happened. A giggle bubbled up from within her, followed by another, and soon she burst into loud, uncontrollable laughter. Her laughter rang out like music through the air, as sweet and joyful as the first spring rain. The villagers stood in awe, and for the first time in years, Elira smiled, her eyes sparkling with warmth. Tiber, though surprised by his own success, smiled too. He had done what no other man could. He had made her laugh. Elira wiped tears of joy from her eyes, still chuckling as she looked at him. "Elira, you are the first in years to make me laugh." The chief, who had been watching from the side, saw the genuine connection between his daughter and the humble farmer. He gave a nod of approval and announced that Tiber would be Elira's husband. The villagers, though initially shocked, soon realized that Tiber's courage and sincerity were more powerful than any dance or trick. Tiber and Elira were married that very day, and their union brought joy not only to them but to the entire village. Tiber's farm grew even more prosperous, and Elira, who had once been a distant figure, became known for her laughter and kindness. She and Tiber would often be seen walking hand in hand through the fields, where their love for each other blossomed like the crops they tended. And as for the village, the story of the man who had been laughed at for so long, yet found the courage to make the princess laugh, became a legend. It was a reminder to all that true strength comes from within, and that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to face the laughter of the world and turn it into joy.